Scriptorium Snippets with Howard of Warwick. A Murder of Convenience. Brother Hermitage sat comfortably under a tree outside the workshop of Wat the Weaver, contemplating the summer sun and the buzz of activity from inside. He had even laid down his slim volume of devotional texts for a moment and closed his eyes. The voice of Quen drifted over the ground as she gave instruction to the apprentices, most of whom were older than she was. Her natural talent and ability lent her a certain authority, and the rest she got from being naturally authoritative. There was no indication that Wat himself was at work, but then it was his workshop, and he had moved on from any actual weaving. On the one hand, this was a bad thing, as Quen frequently pointed out, as a bit of labour from him might actually get more done. On the other hand, the sort of tapestries Wat made in the past really did not want repeating. Not that he would dream of doing anything like that any more, he promised Hermitage. Unfortunately, many of Hermitage's dreams involved Wat's old tapestries, and there wasn't room for that many naked people in one monk's head. Just at this moment, though, there was peace and calm, about which Hermitage naturally felt enormously guilty. He knew that he was no weaver, and so could not contribute to the work that put bread on the table, neither could he offer spiritual guidance to those busy at their looms. He had tried that once, and the response had been quite insulting. Wat and Quen assured him that he didn't need to do anything. But that could not be right. He may not need to do anything at the workshop, but he needed to do something. He was a monk of commitment and sincerity, and as such should not simply sit around. He could go and offer his services to the people of Derby, but they always seemed so busy whenever he tried, and they said they already had all the service they needed from the priest. He had long since given up trying to help that man. It was hard enough to even find him, let alone do anything constructive. Wat and Quen argued that as he was King William's own investigator, he should consider that that was what he did now. That there was no investigation at the moment was not his problem. He just had to wait. One would come along. That was a worry to accompany his guilt, which made for a rather sour dish. Investigating murder for the Norman king was not what he wanted to do at all. They then said that he was being rather selfish for thinking that he could do what he wanted, rather than what was expected. He knew in his heart of hearts that a murder would come along. It was only a matter of time and circumstance. He could stay sitting under this tree or even climb into its branches to hide, and a murder would find him. It could be the king sending word directly. It could be some other Norman who wanted a death resolved. It could be a passing Saxon with a murder that just had to be solved. He wouldn't even be surprised if two people walked by on the road, only for one of them to murder the other right in front of him. At least that would be easy. Most of the time he had not the first idea who had done what to whom until after the moment came to reveal the truth, and frequently the revelation was as much a surprise to him as it was to those involved.